Pipe, the Piper's Tune, introduced by Seumas MacNeill.
Welcome to Dean Castle in Kilmarnock, formerly the seat of the Boyds, but this is where we're going to do a series of programmes featuring all the different types of music played on the Great Highland Bagpipe. Now, unless you're a piper yourself or a piping enthusiast, I think you're going to be very excited and surprised to find what a great wealth and variety of music we can play on the Great Highland Bagpipe. Indeed, over the years, this has proved a great source of inspiration for other musicians and even for composers of classical music such as Dvorak with his New World Symphony. We're going to start with one of the most entertaining branches of our music, jigs and hornpipes. Many of the jigs which the pipers play are quite old because about 200 or 300 years ago the only music played by the Highland pipers consisted of jigs and pibroch. Jigs in the mornings to warm the fingers while the porridge was boiling and pibroch for the rest of the day. What a life it was for a piper in these days. To play this very difficult, very demanding music, we have a man whose brilliance of fingering has taken him all over the world. One of the greatest pipers of this century, or indeed of any century, John D. Burgess.
Well, Seumas.
John, you managed to find your way down all right.
Yes, made it.
Have a seat. Jinsui.
Oh.
And was it not a wee bit dizzy for you up there?
No,
She's
not bad at all, no.
Good. Now, you're a world-renowned expert in Pibroch marches, chaspés, reels, hornpipes, jigs. Stop me if I say something which isn't true, you know. Slow airs, everything in piping. Where would you place jigs in importance to a piper?
Hard one. It's, I think it's, pipers play jigs for fun as well as finger exercise and to give entertainment to non-pipers as well as pipers.
Do you get satisfaction in playing jigs? I mean, compared to, say, Pibroch or a big march, chaspé and reel twice over?
No, I don't get the same satisfaction. I don't think so. But I get fun. I get a lot of pleasure out of jigs. I think most pipers get fun.
And it's, I suppose it's exercise for the fingers.
Exercise for the fingers.
For more important things.
For more important things.
How about the audience reaction, though? Is that different for jigs than from other music?
Oh, yes. Piping recitals, as you know, they're very much on the go these days. If we were to find ourselves playing, as it so often happens, an audience which is not totally comprised of pipers or piping fanatics.
Yes.
We could be playing big, heavy march, chaspés and reels all night, and we go into our jigs, and then it takes their fancy.
Now, there's different ways of playing jigs. At least there's two distinct ways, if I can just try and demonstrate on this practice chanter here. You know, there's the rounded style, which I believe is musically called the Irish method. And I pick a tune I don't know because I'm not good at playing this kind of thing. All evenly, you know?
Very even, yes.
And then there's the other style, which I play myself, probably because it's easier, and I play. Which do you prefer in this business?
Certain jigs lend themselves, I think, to be played round, what we call round. Others lend themselves to the other style. Of course, we can remember far enough back when the round method of playing jigs wasn't really in vogue. In fact, I can't remember, what, 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. I feel that too. I think it's a kind of modern idea
it's
to do
something
that.
that seems to have crept in. There are those that would no doubt disagree with us. But
yes. What about jig competitions? They seem to be more popular now than they used to be.
jigs, yes, and of course, again, not so dreadfully long ago, it was an unusual thing to find a jig competition at all. And I believe pre-war it was, you know, just really something out of the ordinary if a piper discovered a jig competition at games that he attended.
Yes. Now, there's another branch of music, of course, that is becoming very popular just now, and that's hornpipes.
Yes.
What do you think of them for talent?
Again, fun music, but some of them very, very intricate, hard to play. But I doubt if anybody could dance a hornpipe to the modern type of pipe tune that we call a hornpipe. They're more a sort of Irish reel.
Yes. Jigs and hornpipes are not really Scottish, are they?
Well, we can't find any actual tradition of a Scottish or Highland jig, and we played at Highland Games for something which passes for an Irish jig. Probably an Irishman would roll about the ground laughing.
They wouldn't want it at all. No. Yes. Well, hornpipes, I think, are becoming very popular nowadays. Again, I think I only learned the hornpipe to play for dancing, but I remember the first hornpipe competition, and no doubt you did too, at Oban, and the winning prize was Jackie Tarr, played by John McClellan.
Yes. It was probably, I think, about the only hornpipe that pipers could actually play at that time.
I think most of us played Jackie Tarr.
Jackie Tarr.
But nowadays it's everywhere.
All over the place, yes. Yeah. They're coming trotting out from all over the place.
How about playing a hornpipe or two, just to
I could play over, not exactly a modern composition, but one of John Wilson's, which would be composed pre-war, Bobby Cuthbertson.
Oh, yes.
a famous
again,
dancer.
that was composed for playing for dancers.
That was composed
Yes.
for playing for dancers.
Not for demonstration or competition.
And then I could follow that with one that I've sort of adopted concocted from Ireland, called the Swallow-Tailed Coat.
Good. Well,
Right.
feel free. Well done, John. I feel I should be giving you a big applause for that.
Thank you.
John, do you think that maybe your fingers have got something special about them, that you can do things so easily and entertainingly, so fast as you do? I mean, compared to other pipers.
Well, I don't know. I was taught to play these tunes, or that type of tune, rather faster than the present-day pipers play them. Jigs, for instance, Bleros played jigs at a fearful speed.
Did he really?
I could never keep up with him, for sure.
But Willie played everything
He
fast.
played everything fast.
Yes.
But I think that was, well, I notice even at the present minute at the competitions that pipers this year in particular, I notice them playing tunes faster than they were last year.
Wow.
It seems to go in...
But I think also in jig playing, a lot of people feel the man who plays fastest is the one
Is
who
the
plays
best player.
best.
That's not true, of
no,
course.
that's
I admit to playing rather on the brisk
Yes.
side. But,
But you don't lose through it. I mean, you can play it just well within your compass, whereas some of these people are playing and it's just you're sitting on edge waiting for them to
waiting
fall
for
apart.
yes, things to come to bit.
Brochen. I remember you used to be able to play tunes with the hands the wrong way around. Can you still do this, John?
Oh, well,
is that just a gimmick of your youth?
That of my youth, yes. No, I can't manage that sort of thing nowadays. You're playing with
Ambidextrous is the word, I believe.
Yeah, so the yeah, playing. I used to be rather good at it, but
Well, it's still pretty magic to be able to do it still.
of course, you know what pipers are. You're up to all sorts of antics with practice chanters, you know,
Just for
crossing
fun.
hands, just for fun, doing things like and all that sort of nonsense.
Sure,
The way
John.
we used to pass our time on the train.
I see.
In the good old days
Before
of the
we owned
train.
a
Yes,
car.
yeah.
Well, I don't know that you should have done that. There's going to be hundreds and thousands of young pipers out there doing this in the bands, maybe, you know. And
Well,
and pipe bands playing the World Championship and doing that, you know.
things that pipe bands do nowadays, nothing would surprise me. These
Do you know, a great thing nowadays is playing pipes with folk groups.
Yes.
Do you think that there's maybe a danger of people playing with folk groups if they're also trying to play, say, in competitions?
Well, at the risk of being taken out and publicly lynched by the folk people, I can see no point in a Highland bagpipe being played in a folk group, because all that one hears is a pipe chanter.
Yes, that's
Because
good.
everything else is drowned out.
Uh-huh.
And then they put the pitch up, and it just becomes, to me,
Yes.
well, fair enough, everybody to their own.
Yes. I think maybe, you know, we can't object to it if they want to do it, because, you know, all music consists of innovations and,
Yes.
and things. But it seems to me it's a mistake for anybody who has ambitions to win the big prizes to go and play in folk groups, because it seems to be they play so fast that
Well,
must get false or something.
they do. Of course, I must admit I play fast myself.
Yeah, but that's different.
There is a tendency. In fact, if we watch some of the folk groups who have pipers playing, you can see false fingering
Yes.
in the piping.
Finally, John, would you have any tips or suggestions for young pipers who might want to try and play like you? How can they do it?
I was going to say practice, but practice is
Not enough.
is not enough. It's got to be play a lot and enjoy it.
Yes.
Play a lot and enjoy it.
Yes.
And then the old claws will start doing what you want them to do. And then, of course, when you get older, they start doing the other thing that you don't want them to do.
Well, you have a while to go yet. Well, obviously you enjoy your piping, John. That's
Oh,
the
yes.
great thing about it. It comes through in your playing. So, well, thanks very much for coming along and doing this for us. And we're going to ask you to do one more thing.
Yeah?
Would you like to play a jig and a hornpipe to finish the program?
How about two small hornpipes? One which is comparatively new, and another one which is, again, purloined from
the Irish?
From the Irish. So I'll play a tune called Jockey. Jockey was a terrier, by the way.
Oh, really?
A working terrier. Jockey on the Breeze of Abernethy. This is composed by old John Mackay Strathalladale.
Oh, yes.
And the other one's called The Mallow Men.
Great. Well, thanks very much, John.
Not at all, Seumas. Thank you
We'll
very
listen
much.
to to hear you playing these two.
Right, bye.
Good. Well, John is away to play these two tunes, one by John Mackay. We always call him John Hallidale because he lives away up in the north of Scotland. He's a great composer, he's a wonderful man. He claims to have had all the best pipers in the world in his house, and I'm happy to say I was one of them at one time. And the other tune that he's going to play, The Man of Men, is a tune which John has arranged himself, and this is the contribution of John D. Burgess to the piper's tune.